Wait a second. Okay, hello and welcome. We're live again on our Monday morning session, as usual. Thanks for joining us. And again, if you are watching live, please give us a wave and I will say hello. Today, we're going to be talking about advertising on social media, and what you should think about before you think about advertising on social media. Now, I've had lots of conversations this last week about social media advertising. Should I do it? When should I do it? What should I do? And things like that. So I thought in today's live stream, I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of what you should think about when when you're looking at advertising on social media, because people immediately think, I need to be advertising. But first of all, we need to stop and have a think about what it is we're doing. The worst thing you can do with social media is jump straight in and go, whoa, we need to advertise. So that's not the right approach, okay? So top things to consider when you're considering your advertising is, what's the good thing about advertising on social media? Well, I love advertising on social media because there's an the main obvious thing is when you advertise on social media, you get a click through. You can put a link on there. You don't get penalized. You are paying for the privilege to promote your stuff, basically. So social media advertising is so powerful because you can put that link in. You can say, click here, and it can go straight to your shop store. So that's great. Particularly as organic reach, free reach these days on social media is getting really, really hard. So, for example, Facebook is really, really difficult to get a free reach because your reach is organically, you're looking at 2 to 8% initially. So a lot of people are jumping on Facebook advertising, okay? But what you need to consider is, how does social media advertising fit in with your wider marketing strategy? What's your objective? What's your capacity for your leads? What's your budget? And what exactly is it you want to advertise for? Okay. So again, if you're watching in the stream, say hello. Hi, Net. Nice to see you. I'll give you a shout out if you give me a wave. So please jump in with any questions. Today's all about, if you've had any experience advertising on social media, I would love to know what your thoughts are, what experiences you've had, because a lot of people jump into social media advertising and it doesn't work. So they stop it. And that's probably because they're not doing it in quite the right way. So the first thing to do when you're thinking about social media is think about the platforms. Oh, hi, Amanda. Nice to see you. Think about the platforms and understand your audience, okay? What people forget is that social media is not Google. People are not looking for your products and services when they're on social media. They are generally on social media to learn, be entertained, find something interesting, find out what other businesses, what other people are doing. Facebook is a classic example. People often forget that people on Facebook are there in their social time. They do not want to be sold to. So what happens when brands, new businesses go out there and go, whoa, right, I've got this fantastic new product. I've got this great, Lipsil. I've got this great Lipsil. I need to sell it. Right. Take a lovely picture of a Lipsil. Nice banner, 20% off, and send it out to the world. Send it out to the world. And funnily enough, it fails. It massively, massively fails. Because one, this Lipsil is really not worth very much money. Okay. So to run your ads on social media, you're probably going to have to sell thousands of these to get your money back, because it's going to cost you, depending how your strategy is, it can cost you anywhere between 20 pence up to £3, depending how, even more, just for someone to click on it, just for someone to click that link. Well, if your profit margins aren't that large, then you're going to waste an awful lot of money. Okay, so you've really got to understand that people aren't necessarily on there looking for this product. If people wanted a lip seal, they would actually Google it. They wouldn't look on social media. So how should we approach social media? We should, approach social media, where our audience is. So if we're looking at, this is a Fanta lip seal, yeah. If we're looking at this, then we know it's probably going to be younger end, probably female, generally speaking. So we need to find out what platforms that people in our demographic hang out on. So probably Instagram. And be brutally honest, Instagram is a younger market. So if you're looking at a younger market, then maybe you want to advertise on Instagram. But if you're looking at an older market, Facebook. Facebook's fantastic for sort of 30 plus. Instagram's brilliant. Majority of people that are on Instagram are generally 20 to 35. So think about your product. Think about where your audience is hanging out. And then the next thing is, don't just sell to them. The biggest reason why people unfollow business pages and brands is because all they ever do is sell. Social Media Examiner has done loads of surveys on this. And if you just sell on your social media, people are not interested. They will unfollow you. So you've got to be really creative, just like I say about your content. Be creative about your content, add value, share experiences. You need to do that with your advertising. So if you're going to blanket, you want to get new visibility across everybody, across new people that have never heard of you. Don't go in with a sales pitch, not on social media. It's the wrong approach. You've got to warm them up slightly. You've got to warm them up and get them to know you, get them to know your brand. You've got to either add a bit of value, entertain them, or put something interesting on there that's going to appeal to them, their nature, their interests, what they're likely to start scrolling through. Because remember, people scroll through social media madly. You've got to try and get them to stop. If it looks like a sales pitch or an advert, people are going to scroll straight through. So my top tip when you're advertising on social media, don't make it look like an advert, particularly if these people have never heard of you. So we're going through a bit of a sales funnel. So if you're advertising to masses that you've never even heard of, add some value, give them some free stuff, entertain them. If people have possibly heard about you, then, possibly heard about you, come across you maybe, kind of know your brand, then you can kind of ask them to maybe take an action. Maybe you can offer something for free in return for an email address or something like that. And then once you've got lots of followers on your social media who are engaged, who are getting loads of content, loads of value out of your brand, that's when you give them the sales pitch. Doesn't matter what social media platform you're on. That's when you give them the sales pitch. You go in and you go, here you go. You know me, you like me, you trust me. Right. I've got a LinkedIn course coming up. That sort of thing. It's on this date. Buy it now. That's when you do your selling. When your audience knows you, when they'd be interested in buying from you. But if they've never even heard of you and you give them a sales pitch, it doesn't work and you're going to waste a lot of money. There is a slight caveat there. If you've got a high value product and you get that pitch right, then you can afford to spend quite a lot of money on advertising to get that one lead, then yes, outright selling, you're going to get a conversion. You're probably going to get a conversion there. So if you go out to the masses, you might get a 2% conversion. But if it's a high value product you're selling and your profit margins are large, you might be happy with that. But generally, if you've got a low value product and you're selling to the masses, you're going to be spending too much money and your conversions aren't going to be high enough from people that click through to buy. considering how much you're spending on advertising. Therefore, you've got to be a little bit more creative. So it's about getting that return on investment right and understanding your budget. And that's the really important thing. Now, next put mention, net uses social media advertising in connection with printed advertising for clients. Okay, I'm just going to click see more. They complement each other when done correctly. Absolutely right. So Net works for Warrington Worldwide. She does a lot of print advertising, but that print advertising is backed up by then social media advertising. So the messages that's going out is complementing it. So people that might see the print then might see what's going out digitally. And that's so important. It's about getting your advertising complementing what's going on in your wider marketing strategy. So if you are doing radio advertising, if you are doing printed advertising, leaflet drops, postal, email communications, make it look and feel like the adverts that you're also running on the social media. Because if you've got a fantastic email list, and then if you're on Facebook, you can then advertise to that email list. So they're getting an email and they're getting a follow-up as well. It's immediately keeping it fresh in their minds, going, oh, maybe I should consider buying this. Maybe I should think about, maybe this product could be really useful for me. So again, it's connecting it all up that way. So think about that. Let me know if you're watching on the stream as well. Tell me, have you advertised on social media? What experience have you had? It's quite complex. And you've got to think about your objectives as well. So sometimes I advertise on social media with clients just to increase their followers, as long as we understand what the audience is. So I'm not necessarily looking to sell. We're just getting out there and increasing our reach. Again, think about the content. What's going to make them follow your page? Then once we've got them following your page, on Facebook, for example, once we've got them following your page, then they're obviously aware of you. They generally might see that your organic reach, but once you've got them following, you can then serve ads just to those followers. So you can just send ads just to your followers. You can also, with Facebook, download email lists. You can download email lists and send ads to people on your email list. It's amazing the things that you can do. Facebook advertising is going up slightly because a lot of people are doing it because organic reach has massively dropped recently. But what I say to anybody before you even think about advertising is you've got to make sure your organic reach is working. So the way I deliver a lot of my ads, to be fair, I've not done, for my business, not done that much advertising, although I am about to advertise because I'm doing just about to launch an online Facebook for Business course, which is going to take people through how to use Facebook and grow their organic reach. But what I do is I look at what's working in my organic feed first. What people are interested on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, what type of content are they responding to? What type of content are they asking questions? Are they engaging with? Once I've understood that, I then pick out the best ones, which have been the most popular. I then repurpose them and throw those out as adverts to increase my reach and my engagement. So by looking at your organic content, seeing what's working well, then you can use that in your advertising. And that is the best way to start off with social media advertising. Obviously, you've got to make sure that, and I always preach this, get your organic free stuff working before you even consider advertising. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of money. If you don't understand how the social media platforms work and you don't understand what your audience is interested in, then it's going to be very difficult for you to serve engaging ads that convert into sales. So look at your organic stuff and get that watching. So again, if you're watching live, say hello. Hi Amanda. Say hello on the feed. Share your experiences. One thing I would say as well is Facebook is constantly trying to get us to boost posts. Please don't boost posts. it's a waste of money. Facebook will ask you to boost posts because the Facebook ads platform is a little bit more complex. Therefore, people jump onto the ads platform and go, I don't know what that is. I'm just going to boost a post. It's quick. It's a quick way of doing it. Facebook's easiest way of making money is by getting you to boost a post. So you'll boost a post. It's not got any of the options that it's got in the Facebook platform. The Facebook platform's got loads more options. So if you boost a post, it's going to just immediately just go for engagement. It's not looking for people that are going to buy a product. It's looking for people that engage on that post because it makes your ad look popular and you think, oh, that's great. I've had lots of people engaging on my post. But generally, it's been served for people that are likely to engage but not necessarily buy. So again, if you've got a low value product, please don't boost your post. High value product, high profit margin, yes, maybe. Quick way of doing it. But other than that, yeah, please don't boost posts. Oh, hi, Pete. Nice to see you. Pete's on YouTube. So yes, don't boost posts. At the moment, the best social media platform to advertise on is Facebook, simply because it's got so many retargeting options. You can just advertise to your followers. You can advertise to people on your email list. You can advertise to people who've clicked on your website. It is phenomenal, but it's also quite complicated to do. But you know, it's the content that's the most important thing. Anyone can do an advert. You can get the best strategy in the world, but if the content isn't right for that platform, it's not going to work. LinkedIn is improving its ad service as well. That's getting relatively good. You can put ads in the newsfeed of LinkedIn, but it is still generally a little bit more expensive than Facebook and Twitter. Twitter is you know, again, you can sponsor tweets, but it's not quite got there yet with the targeting like you can with Facebook, because Facebook you can target to anyone in a 17-mile radius, for example. So again, have a think about what platform your audience is hanging out on. Think about what content, what they might be interested in. Think about retargeting. Think about your budget. The best advertising strategies are those that are not quick wins, not like, oh, there you go, there's £200 for this week to advertise. The best advertising strategies build in over time and take those customers on a journey. That's what you need to be thinking about, not just, there you go, throw a load of money at it and then think, oh, that didn't work. It's a lot more to it than that. So there's a quick summary on advertising and my sort of top tips. Again, try to make them not look like a sales ad. Add value, entertain, and then you're going to get more traction. Think about your objectives really clearly, because you're not necessarily just there to sell. You might just be there for raising awareness of the brand, and sometimes that is the most popular way of raising the profile of your brand and getting the best value, is just by collecting those followers onto your feed and then selling to your followers. You're going to get a better return on investment for selling to your followers. Okay, so drop the sales pitch, even though we're advertising. I know it kind of doesn't make sense, does it? But yeah, think about dropping the sales pitch. So those are some of my top tips. Please do share some of your tips or pains with advertising. You know, what's worked well, what hasn't worked well. Please do share your tips in the comments below. And if you do need help with advertising, you know I'm here. I can certainly teach you how to advertise on some of the platforms. One of my top tips as well is, if you're advertising on Facebook, it may automatically put adverts in Instagram. Please turn that off if you haven't got an Instagram account, because that's a complete waste of money. There's a little tip from me. Just check your settings when you're setting up your adverts, because if you haven't got an Instagram account and your ads are going onto Instagram, it's just wasting money because you've not got an account to send people to. Okay, so that's my top tip for advertising. Do share yours. I will be running a workshop in Warrington on Facebook advertising in the new year. We do also have a content workshop coming up on the 5th of November, who I'm running with Amanda from Redwood Coffee. So again, check out my Facebook page for that. If you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to my channel. It is a new channel. I am trying to grow it. If you're watching in my group, thanks for joining us, guys. And we will be back next week at 12:30 as usual. Next week, I'm going to talk about hashtags. So do come and join me and we'll talk about hashtags, what they are and how we can use them on social media. And also just check out as well, if you're interested, I am running and I'm just about to launch an online Facebook course to transform your organic reach. If you've got a new Facebook page, you don't know how to use it, or you've got a one that's a little bit dead and isn't doing much, needs a bit of revitalization, then I've got an online course that's going to be bite-sized video tutorials that you can watch in your own time whenever you like, and it's going to take you step by step on how to improve your Facebook page. So again, if you're interested, keep an eye, make sure you follow me on social media or leave me a comment in the chat, and I'll happily add you to my circulation list for that. Well, thanks everybody for watching today, and I will see you next week at 12:30. Don't forget your sandwich. See you later, guys.